Okay, I'm going to try and keep my E3 rant fairly concise here because I think there's only really one major takeaway this year, and that is that Microsoft are huffing their own bottled farts, which is apropos because that's also what the Xbox One is going to sell like. For clear and present evidence of this fact, one need look no further than one of the very first sentences to leap from Don Matford's cavernous yap at the Xbox reveal event. Are you ready for a hearty belly laugh, people? Yeah, here it goes. Okay. In this thriving gaming market. Yeah, I know. Try and catch a breather. When I heard that phrase, I laughed so hard I fucking herniated. But strangely enough, that says it all, really. It perfectly delineates the culture under which the Xbox One was developed. A culture that springs from a complete and utter bold-faced disregard of the economic facts of our time. As most of you already know, I once worked at GameStop. Not that you should hold that against me. And as I'm sure the Sainted Magnus over on the Hate Bit podcast will also attest, I guarantee you the sun didn't set a single day without at least 10 people having their heads blown clean off their goddamn shoulders by the mere suggestion that they actually hook their Xbox 360 or PS3 up to the internet. I beshit you not, one guy actually asked me if he needed a free telephone line. And this was in 2007, the same year Microsoft mistakenly believes we're in. I'd love to swill the Kool-Aid and believe we're just around the corner from flying cars and Star Trek teleporters, but then I have to confront the grim reality that one of the very first volunteer trips that I ever went on was in the year 2004, erecting the very first telephone poles in a town in Kentucky. 2004! You want to move us all into the space age, but the sad reality is that half this fucking planet is still living into the concept of the fucking Dark Ages. These people think je ne sais quoi is a sexual position. They're still shitting outdoors in the woods, and now you want them to get on board with a machine that, if not connected to the internet once per day, doubles as a big black brick? Are you shitting me? Much more pathetic than Microsoft's peerless egotism as far as I'm concerned was how ecstatic the gaming public was over the idea that Sony would simply fuck them more gently. Oh, fuck yeah! PS4 is only removing 3 major features. Sony Army all the way! Cassie Rai, take me on the floor right now, you Mongol enchantress! So long as Microsoft is down on the mat, picking themselves up, gathering up their shattered teeth, maybe they can help hunt down our motherfucking standards while they're at it. Tearing Microsoft new and exciting assholes in new and exciting places, I get. They bukkakied in your hair, and much like anyone who contributes to Encyclopedia Dramatica, they deserve nothing but your pity and contempt. But giving Sony an honorary reach-around for the mere act of maintaining the status quo? Get a fucking grip, people. Look, there's plenty to be angry at Microsoft about, but the fact is, if we treat Sony like the second coming for removing slightly fewer features, we will have missed the ever-loving point and taken the first step down a road that invariably leads to the complete relinquishment of any and all consumer rights. It's not time to cheer for Nintendo and Sony. It's time to bash all three, albeit with special attention paid to Microsoft, for incrementally selling us all down the fucking Ganges. I'm Razor Fist God fucking Speed.